Concerns are raised for the future of journalism due to the decline of quality, reader reluctance to pay for the online content, and the spread of fake news in the digital journalism industries. The future of journalism is said to be digital journalism. Nowadays, it's hard to see people reading newspaper in the cafeteria, but more likely to see them browsing through their phone. The lifestyle of people has changed due to the emergence of technologies. It is the same for the news industries. Speaking of the future of journalism, we will need to look into the print journalism, which has survived hundreds of years. The change of moving news online has become the biggest crisis for newspaper industries. The death of newspaper has been predicted for decades. The emergence of radio and television in the early 21st century should have killed newspaper. But newspapers survive as they are able to provide in-depth analysis that radio and TV programs could not due to time limitations. In 2013, USA news industry predicted that newspaper will last only for another 5 years, but it seems that newspaper lasts way longer. Changes have been made to maintain the survivability of newspaper. They focus less on breaking news and it is more suitable for the radio, TV, or the internet, but report on long feature stories, sit-down news to be produced, or articles about more leisurely activities. Newspaper might be dead in the future, but it will still stay in a long while. Most newspaper industry had cut off their print edition and made the move to online news, even though they still provide digital copy of the newspaper, but it is never meant to be the same medium. Digital journalism might be a good platform to reach out to the audience as people now are more likely to look at their smartphone rather than listening to radio or watching TV, especially for teenagers who seems to be less interested in reading newspaper. Initially, online news platform tends to earn revenues from online ads, but it had become a distraction for the audiences to read the news. Hence, publishers are betting on digital subscriptions to compensate for declining ad revenues so that they are able to become more independent from global platforms. However, a fatal mistake was made, which is most of these online news platforms provide free access to the audiences, which give them less reasons to subscribe. The rise of citizen journalism adds on more pressure on digital journalism as users can browse through social media sites to obtain news information rather than visiting their platforms. The usage of clickbait pieces to attract audiences has lowered the quality of news content, which eventually lost the public trust on the organizations. With the advancement of technology, journalists can understand their audiences better and be able to engage with them through changing the way of featuring their content. With the help of intelligent algorithms and software, media companies are able to collect data on the user's interests, which aid in create content and can drive the ads revenue and subscriptions as they are able to be more productive and effective. Meanwhile, with the continuous development of technologies, users might be able to experience the news content through virtual reality and augmented reality technologies, which will definitely make news more interesting. In current society, there are three major portals to access news, which is print journalism, broadcast journalism, which is radio and TV news, and digital journalism. Original reports mainly come from the newspaper, as newspaper journalists are the ones going into the field and make the report, with online news providing in-depth news coverage to the public, which is previously done by the newspaper. Print journalism strives to provide long feature stories. Broadcast journalism conveys breaking news to the public, as radio and television news can be accessed easily by the public. Digital journalism is the most convenient medium to be accessed simply because everyone is carrying their smartphone around. As long as quality journalism is present, the future of news industry will certainly be okay.